All right, Shalom, Israel. First and foremost, as always, I would like to give all praises, honor, glory, respect, and blessings to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Kodash. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing this truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for Yahweh Shai's return. And double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai. And I wanted to share a dream I had. You know, it was a very interesting dream because this dream was about me escaping from a place that looked like a closed factory. And I was escaping with this woman that I had with me. Now, apparently we was on the second floor of this building. We had jumped down from off some crates. Except when she landed, I guess she ended up hurting herself and she ended up being half unconscious and half awake. So I ended up having to carry her, this woman that I was rescuing with me from this closed factory, as I was carrying her on my back, we were, basically on the ground, looking for a way out. And when we finally came across some blockage, some debris, some large debris at that, that was blocking our path, again, I had this woman with me on my back, she was beautiful and all. And basically, it was me with her trying to escape from this closed factory. And, at that point, I was just fed up with all the bullshit in the world. And, basically, suddenly, this powerful music started to play in my head. And as this powerful music played in my head, my anger started to flare up. And I mean rapidly. And as my anger was flaring up, as this powerful music was playing in my head, I suddenly started thinking about all the bullshit and all the wickedness and all the evils that was going on in the world. And as I was doing that, right, I faced my left hand towards this large debris that was blocking our only way out. And a blast came out of my left hand. But when I faced my right hand toward this large debris, basically a powerful blast, a very powerful blast came out of my hand, a blast so powerful that everything turned right. And as I was doing this, I was yelling too, by the way. I was yelling. I was angry. I was just fed up at that point. And basically, after that bright, powerful blast came out of my right hand, everything just turned white, and after everything turned white, because at that point, I believe I was half awake and half asleep. And basically in my dream, I was just crying, and the crying could have been tears of joy because the Lord had given me spiritual power to basically to be able to do what I had to do to to get through that debris. But at that point, after everything turned white out, I pretty much woke up crying, It could have also been from the powerful music as well, that was playing in my head. It was playing loudly too, but, pretty much I just woke up crying, and, that was pretty much the end of the dream. But, again, I had a woman with me, and we were both, trying to escape from this closed factory. Now, again, it looked like there was a whole bunch of, how you put it? Like the same tanks and shit that you see trains carrying, those things were everywhere after we had, jumped from the second floor window, But it was like that, just like different color, like tanks, like rectangular tanks everywhere, And we happened to had jumped off of some of those too, as we were jumping from the second floor window, And again, we were escaping from this closed factory. It was a large factory too. But I don't really know what to really make much of the dream. We know that Esau has a habit of turning large places such as shopping malls and department stores and even amusement parks into concentration camps. So it wouldn't be no surprise if this closed factory was actually a concentration camp that me and this woman was trying to escape from. But towards the end of the dream, all I know was that a bright, powerful blast, so powerful, came out of my hand that I destroyed everything in front of me, and everything had turned white. And I was yelling as all this was going on because I was just fed up with all the bullshit in the world. But, that could have been a dream. I don't know. Maybe it was a vision. I don't know. Nonetheless, I think it was just a dream. But I'm going to read this real quick and then close it out. Okay, it says, Ecclesiastes 34 verse 5, divinations and soothsayings and dreams are vain, and the heart, which the heart goes back to the Hebrew word lab, which means your mind, fancieth as a woman's heart in travail. If they be not sent from the Most High in thy visitation, set not thy heart upon them. Okay. And you can tell if a dream was sent from the Most High because the dreams you will have can be lined up with the scriptures, because, there are, most of the time when we have dreams, it's like, whatever, there's no way that was a vision or, it's not something, the dream you had is not something you can line up with the scriptures, like I don't know, you might have a dream that, you got, I don't know. You might have had a dream you was in some wonder world somewhere, It's not a vision, but, but a dream can sometimes be a vision. The Lord could be sending you a message, I believe it was 2 or 3 days ago. I had a dream that I was flying and in this dream, it was weird because I could literally control myself in my dream. It's almost like I knew that I was dreaming but I also had the ability to fly as well. Like, because what I would do was I would look up and then I would stretch forth my hands toward the sky and then I would start levitating. Like I was just floating up, I was floating above people. And then if I wanted to fly forward while in the air, I would just stretch forth my hands, and whatever direction I was stretching forth my fists, I was just flying in that direction, you know? And then I could increase the altitude at, at how high I wanted to go, you know? Now I've had several dreams like that, I also had another dream before in the past where, because there's a lot of dreams I have, they kind of act as visions, but, I choose not to do videos on it because the spirit is not on me for whatever reason. But there was also this other dream I had where I was on the chariot and I was looking out the window and I literally saw America on fire. Like the whole entire country was just burning, And let me remind you, I was looking out the window. This window was like in the center of the chariot, so it was like a large round window. And I was just standing there looking down at planet Earth. And the whole country of America was just on fire. And I perceived that was, that lined up with the scripture in Revelation where it spoke about, and they saw as it were a sea, a glass mingled with fire, in Revelation. And again, I'm not saying I'm of the elect. I hope I'm of the elect because, really, in all honesty, just because you have dreams that you can fly or that you have spiritual power, it don't necessarily mean that you're of the elect, because you can really be having a vision of another brother in that situation, And, the scriptures also speak about being humble, being filled with humility, because the Lord resisteth the proud, So it's always Lord's will. We hope to be of the elect. OK. But, the Lord will give you visions like that sometimes to comfort you, especially if you're going through things in life, And there was also a scripture in the book of Isaiah, the 40th chapter, where it speaks about they shall they shall lift up with wings and fly, Now, it's not talking about we're going to grow wings like Hancock and fly off. But the scriptures do say that there are particular men on this planet who's going to receive spiritual power in order to, because it's going to get so bad out here. It's going to get so crazy that the Lord is going to give he's going to lift up a standard. It tells you there in Isaiah 59, verse 19. OK, so and when you look up that word standard in Isaiah 59, verse 19, it goes back to the Hebrew word nawas, which literally means to take flight. To disappear, So the Lord's going to give you the ability to disappear in the midst of danger. You might be being chased by martial law troops. You might be in a second or third floor apartment, and martial law might be heading exactly to your apartment. They might kick in your door, and the Lord might give you the ability to disappear. They may not be able to find you in your own apartment, and you're literally standing right in front of them. OK, hey, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai can do things like that, or he might give you the ability to fly as you hear the martial law troops outside of your apartment. Then you might be like, oh, shit, I'm levitating. You might jump out the window and fly off. But, just sharing some of the dreams I've had, and the most recent one I had, you know, which was when I was rescuing this woman from this closed factory. You know, we were both escaping. And I believe it was a concentration camp because, why else would be desperately jumping off a second floor window just to escape, you know? But, you know, it is what it is, man, you know? Ecclesiasticus 34 verse 7, it says, "For dreams have deceived many, and they have failed and they have failed that have put their trust in them," you know? So again, you know, you would know if a dream was sent from Yahweh Bahashem, which all dreams really come from Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. But if it's not a dream that's based on a vision, you know, because we've had many dreams, but then there are dreams that literally resemble a vision. You know, like I was telling the brothers in the Great Waters camp. You know, I've had a dream that I was out there teaching one time, and you know, basically the leader of the Great Waters camp came and picked me up, and you know, basically I was back in the Great Waters camp. But you know, that pretty much concludes this video. I don't want to make it too long. With that, I'm gonna say, Kal Halayim La Alahayanawa Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Salutations to the Lord's elect on the four corners of the earth, pushing his truth and sincerity while patiently waiting for you. Yahweh Shai's returned, and as always, double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, which have taught us everything we know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. With that, I'm going to say Shalom is on to the next one. DTA Abad Babal. Shalom.